The Thompson house on the cold wind farm. Hello everybody, welcome to this amazing game of Dead by Daylight. Today I'm playing David King and we're going to talk about the exhaustion changes coming up in the patch that's on the PTB. A lot of people are very upset with how that whole thing kind of happened and they're not really happy with it. So let's go over what's going on and why and what's the reality. So, Exhaustion's being changed to not recover while you sprint. So, with that being said, that means all of the Exhaustion perks like Life, Bounce, Landing, and Dead Hard, the ones I'm running, are all affected. Now, the biggest complaint is that these perks didn't need touch. Nobody's saying that sprint burst didn't need a nerf, but they're saying that Life, Dead Hard, and Bounce Landing did not need the nerf. And I absolutely disagree with this. The perks in question are pretty much sprint burst, except for Dead Hard. Dead Hard probably not the only perk, or is probably the only perk that doesn't share that effect, but it's got a unique effect on its own. It probably needs to get a little better, but that doesn't mean that Exhaustion needs to be nerfed, or buffed, you know. Sprint burst was not the only problem. It's really ignorant to say that Sprint Burst was the only problem because all the other three suck. And you can't say that Balance Landing and Life suck because they do exactly what Sprint Burst does. It does exactly the same thing. To say it doesn't is silly. They both give the exact same speed boost. It's a little ridiculous. And I think, wow, it got farmed. I'm so sorry, man. Giving a speed boost, but here's the deal. Here's the deal breaker. Balance Landing and Life both give not only the effective sprint burst, but they also provide a better effect, right? Oh shit. Ah, Dingleberry. They provide better effects with conditions, right? The conditions they require are not always convenient, right? Like, that's the thing. Alright, you're not gonna be able to catch that. No, not in your life, nurse. The conditions that need to be met are something that Sprint Burst can't even... Oof. Something that Sprint Burst can't even do, right? Let me get into this in a minute here while this nurse stuff. I'm having a mind game in Chaz. Okay, so... While I was babbling the same thing over and over. So here's the thing. If I were to fall with Sprint Burst, I fall and I have to stop. But if I balance landing, I not only don't stop by 75% reduction, but I also get a Sprint Burst afterwards or during. So the difference here is with balance landing, Sprint Burst can't do that. Sprint Burst loses some time. If you were to sprint burst out a window, you lose the sprint burst for the drop, you stun yourself at the end, and it's goodbye sprint burst, right? So Balance Landing is actually really good because it does what Sprint Burst does not. And yeah, sure, not every map has a lot of drop-offs to use Balance Landing, but seriously, all the Cold Wind farms do. You have a really good chance to get a map with all of them have one drop in them, guaranteed. Even the most flat level of, well, Larry's Memorial's got two. The basement stairs are always a drop. If you're near those, you drop down in them and run back out. It's a good way to get it. Is it consistent? No. And is it viable all the time? No. But what it is something that Sprint Burst isn't. But it is still powerful because it does exactly what Sprint Burst does. It is Sprint Burst with condition. Same with Life. You vault, you can activate it by vaulting intentionally. You've done well to do so. And so the whole argument that these perks suck because they have a condition and Sprint Burst just all the time, that's not exactly true. Being able to make a chase happen for 40 goddamn seconds is not hard. I don't know how long of a chase with a nurse. But a lot of people complain that Bloodlust on the goddamn killers need a nerf. I'm a rank 1 killer who plays this game way too goddamn much. And I can tell you, I don't ever get my Bloodlust without having to force it. And I mean, I have to force it. And there's even maps where I don't get the choice of forcing. So that choice of force is like, if there's a wall and the chase ends, I'm done. Over. Good game. Good game, man. That's all I gotta say. I'm gonna die for this one. There's a medkit! Okay. So anyways, I got with Dead Hard, but see, even with the use of Dead Hard, that counters a nurse's blink. She doesn't get the choice to hold the attack. It's a really good fucking counter to her blink. I would be down without Dead Hard. And I'm running the 3 weakest exhaustions, but I shouldn't be able to Dead Hard again in the middle of a chase. I don't need that many second chances. So, I guess it's like I can't agree with people and their thought that this didn't need a nerf. Just because Sprint Burst was the biggest problem, which I admit that Balance Landing, Life, and Dead Hard were not even close to as big of a problem as Sprint Burst, it doesn't mean you still need these other 3 to be powerful. If you remove one power, another one takes its place unless you have balance, and you don't, because Life and Balance Landing then take Sprint Burst's place if Sprint Burst can't be consistent or good. I mean, quite literally, you just watched a game of not Survive with Friends. I don't know who these goobers are, but this poor nurse playing the best killer at rank 11, or as a rank recess, so she's likely a rank 1 nurse at the end of the day, couldn't kill us. She was trying to be nice. She didn't camp. She was trying, I guarantee you, probably like, whew. Oh, she was prestiging too, so she was missing out on some perks. She was prestiging, but the heavy reliance on perks, I mean, I wasn't using anything good. This person was with that Sprint Burst. There's a Balanced Landing user right there. There's a Dead Hard user. Perfect. Everyone's using Exhaustion perks that are, this is great. I can't believe I ran into this. These are Exhaustion perks that are not Sprint Burst, and that's fantastic to see that Exhaustion perks are a problem in general. And that argument comes all the way back to what's the real problem of Dead by Daylight? It's the asymmetrical balance. Everyone cries balance, but I don't think half the people who cry for it know what balance for asymmetrical games are. Everybody wants both sides to be even, but that's not asymmetry. That's just symmetrical. Asymmetrical games have 2 roles that make the foundation of this whole genre. Dead by Daylight, I just want everyone to know, is not that genre. Dead by Daylight is a part of the genre. It's a popular piece, don't get me wrong. A lot of you probably haven't heard of asymmetry till this sucker came along, but it's been around. And the balance is, you have a power role that is able to overwhelm the numerous role, but the numerous role, with teamwork, that's a key word, can beat the power role. I don't know how long I've been preaching this, that people just don't get it through their heads, and it really hurts on the inside. But one survivor should never, ever be able to compete with 1 killer. It should take 4. 4 survivors beat 1 killer. And yeah, sure enough, 4 survivors beat 1 killer, but I mean, holy shit. Did you see the chase I gave? That was great. She stood no chance against me. The one mistake I made that she had the successful hit, I had a crutch. It's called Dead Hard. I was able to save my life with it. It's pretty good. I want people to know that your hours and time played in this game do not matter to me. In forms of an argument, I just want logic and reasoning. And when you come to me and say, well, I have X amount of hours, it means nothing. Because, 1, you can fudge your hours, you can fake your hours. I know every person who has faked their hours. Everybody who is so proud of their hours has faked their hours, and I know they have. And they can go deny it. They can all deny it. That's fine. I'm not going to sit here and try to prove them wrong. But the point is, that sign of authority, because you have boosted your hours, is not going to be something that is going to help an argument of balance. I have been told by several people that I have 3,000 hours, I have 5,000 hours, I have 4,000 hours, I'm way more than you, and this is not happening, I've played so much more. I have been, you want to look at my hours, I've got 1,700. And I've been one of the very few people who really dive into the numbers in this game. I've been one of the few people who found real frame-by-frame numbers on everything add-on related and how certain things work. And probably my biggest peeve is just when balance is finally introduced into this game, it's just completely ignored for whatever reason. Exhaustion is a problem. Being able to recover twice in a single chase is bad, because a chase should never in the first place last 40 seconds. It really shouldn't. Because you're giving the killer 3 minutes to kill 4 people. Unfortunately, in a real world, it takes 3 minutes to kill 1 person. It takes about a minute chase to get them down. It takes about 2 minutes for them to die in the hook if nothing interrupts them. 3 minutes for 1 person. The game is done in 3 minutes. The killer will then be able to have one 15-second chance that one of the doors isn't open, that he can catch someone. This is, of course, worst-case scenario, baseline numbers. That he can catch 1 more. 2 kills. Okay, 2 kills. And that's an even, right? 2 died, 2 lived. 50-50 balance, right? Not for the killer. That's a loss. That's a safety at best. And that's because the killer doesn't get to say on his gatekeeper. That's all done by survivors. If survivors don't want to do generators, then the killer will benefit and get stuff. Unless the survivors also give up their life before all the generators are done, then the killer will also get a bonus. The only way to stop that is with one perk called Ruin. It's like, cool, that's a counterable perk too. It can be broken and then done quickly. Killer really doesn't get any say about his malicious. Killer doesn't get any say about his chaser, really, either. The chaser, again, is if a survivor makes a mistake, because the killer really doesn't have any skillful options. Only if you do. Nerfs is one of them. All this comes down to the killer never has a choice, really. He gets a choice going left or right, or if he wants to risk a gamble mind game, which will lengthen the fucking chase by God knows how long. Could be 30 seconds on a single pallet. Sometimes those mind games aren't even worth it because the amount of information survivors have, along with how little the places are and how many safety pallets there are. It's just, in the end of the game, this whole exhaustion thing doesn't balance it in the right way completely. But when people are calling that exhaustion is not the problem, there's more problems than just exhaustion. And killers are still too weak. Killers still need more. And you can call me a killer main all you want, but I played both sides evenly, and I'm bored as fuck as a survivor, and I'm stressed as fuck as a killer. Killer is an easier role to play, to be honest. To understand it, you hold W and press 1, M1. Sorry. That's for PC players. Sorry, console players. You hold forward on your joystick, and you press... Is it right trigger? Either way, to the end of it all. The exhaustion perks, the nerf coming into it is very important. It has to happen. I wanted to bring this up because I've just been hearing non-stop complaints about the exhaustion. And then, on top of that, you know, there's just tons of people who are also indifferent. They're like, you know, I don't mind it, you know, kind of unfair that survivors get nerfed, but not the killers. But that one kills me. But again, that's the asymmetrical balance that it's like a passionate piece of mine. I love this game to death. Marth88 quit this game. If you don't know who he is, he's a Twitch streamer, he's a killer. He might be coming back for a short bit, I don't know. Me and him are pretty much gonna jump ship to Death Garden when that comes out. I've already jumped ship to Identity 5. I've already done a video on that. It's a sponsored piece, but it's a good video if you want to know what it is. Identity 5 is a fantastic game. It is Dead by Daylight, but for mobile. And the fact that I'm enjoying a mobile version of Dead by Daylight more than I am the source game is kind of like, come on, man. I'm tired. I love this game to death, and I'm excited for the updates to come, but I think I just need to get my piece out there that the exhaustion nerfs need to come, and that's not all. Killers still don't have power. It's a minor touch to very powerful perks, because balance landing and life are very powerful perks. Sprint Burst is just the most powerful of the 4. And Dead Hard is probably like, what, the least powerful due to it giving you no speed boost. But just because you don't use or like it because you like Sprint Burst so much more does not mean that they are essentially weaker. It means that when you remove the problem, the other problems begin to arise. Just because the one thing is the biggest issue doesn't mean we shouldn't address every issue with that. There's several issues in this game, sprinters being one of them. Maps, a lot of people are going to say that the maps are the problem. Maps are not always the problem. The maps have been changed left and right. And the only thing that makes maps more balanced is less palettes, less windows, which people hate. And honestly, I would hate that too. I would hate if all the tools I have to survive are just taken away. But, you know, I'm coming up with a discussion piece. I know I've been talking about this for a while, and I'm sorry that this one got really real. But I wanted everyone to just, for a moment, think. If this was asymmetrical balance, and we can, a lot of people can agree that killers are not that strong, then we know there's an issue. Be it maps, other perks, I don't care, really. But calling for nerfs on killer when the survivors are getting nerfs, I just would hope that everybody takes a brief moment, reflect on that for a moment, and ask yourself, are the killers really that much of a threat if I'm not a potato? If I'm french frying and salting it up, am I really doing it? I don't know. Anyways, so thank you all for watching. This video will be the in-between. Tomorrow I should be coming out with the bigger let's discuss of everything. Because I wanted to use numbers, I wanted to bring real examples, I wanted to bring everything, but I also just emotionally had to get this off my chest. I feel Dead by Daylight is going in a direction that's mixed. It's trying to fix the game without fixing the game. And that is leaving people like me who are going to jump ship to Death Garden, that is a truly balanced asymmetrical game, and Identity 5, or other fixes for Dead by Daylight. Because I love this game. I do. Everybody's already seen I cut back content on it. I've already done other games, played some Raft. I really like Raft. I gotta get back into that. And a whole bunch of other things. And I love you guys very much. You know what? I got a lot coming up. I've been really busy. And I got a really special video coming up after my discussion piece. But my discussion piece will also contain Exhaustion and the whole change. The Hag and the Trapper buff. So thank you everybody for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you made it this far, put the special word spaghetti in the comment section. That would make me happy. And as always, good game.